It is Friday, May 15th, 2026. This is another edition of Baseball Today presented to you by T-Mobile. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan along for the ride as well as we welcome you back from wine country. So I'm going to be like I was when I was a little kid and my parents just got back from a trip overseas. What'd you get me?
You can have, I bought some nice wine. I'll share a bottle with you. Do you like white or red?
We're white. Yeah.
I've started to really enjoy a nice, crisp, refreshing white wine.
Okay.
So we can have a bottle together.
I love that. I don't have to take
When
it
are we
from you.
seeing
I'd
each
rather
other
take-
next?
Well, Michelle was going to reach out to Olivia and we're going to try and get this thing going. But, we've got June 15th circled. That's a big day for you. So we don't want to interrupt. But, I am
You're going to take me
finally
out for
home
my 40th birthday?
Hell yes, we are. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do that. I've got that already. It's all put right here.
No, I
In
like
part
that.
of the reason we should celebrate is because you're so damn good at your job. Because I give you a tip of the cap, or maybe based on where you've been, a raise of the wine glass. Because earlier this week, this is what you said about Cal Raleigh.
I think they need to IL him. I think he needs to go on the IL and take 2 weeks off. He's dealing with some sort of oblique or side soreness, they're calling it. And, you look at his numbers and you watch him hit. The timing isn't there.
Well. Somebody was all over it because that's what happened.
I mean, I'm not trying to take victory laps here at all. So, I'll accept the tip of the cap or the clink of the wine glass, whatever this one is. But look, it's just, to me, it made sense. If you're the Seattle Mariners again, in the division that you're in, with the team that you have, with your aspirations are not be the best team May 15th. They just aren't. You want to get to the World Series, and you have the team to do it, but you have to have Cal Raleigh performing at his best and healthy. So it made sense. Take your time, get it better, come back, help the team out, and I think they'll be better for it.
Can you please tip your cap? Yeah, that away. We're not celebrating anybody's injury. We are not doing that. I just want to say that you said it, and it happened. We want him to get well, get back, hit show homers, have fun. No longer 0 for 36 or 0 for 38. Let's put that in the back burner. Let's take care of that oblique. All right, we got Rivalry Weekend going, and so we're going to jumpstart this show in the Midwest where it's Chicago against Chicago. Cubs salvaged something in their series against Atlanta as they top Chris Sale and the Braves. Meanwhile, the South Siders, they just keep cruising along.
2-2. Grichuk. A blast into left field. Back it goes. Get out! Randall Grichuk, his third homer of the season.
Plouffe, true or false? The White Sox are the more interesting half of the Chicago series this weekend.
I think so far, I would say true. They're the one of the two most surprising teams in baseball this year. I'll give it to them. I'll give it to the Cardinals. Those are the two teams that most people have written off. Hey, Chicago, they're still rebuilding. Cardinals entering a slight rebuild here. We're going to let the young kids play, whatever it is. But the White Sox, to me, there's a couple of things I really, really like about this team. And I think most people will go to Colson Montgomery or Murakami or even Miguel Vargas, but they the way they're utilizing the bench, and it happened in this series in particular. Will Venable pinch hitting 3 straight righties up against Matt Strahm, and finally we get a homer there at the end by our guy Derek Hill. It seems to me, and White Sox fans, you could tell me if I'm wrong. I don't watch every single White Sox game. So the ones that I do, they're going for it. They're going for victories, taking those chances, emptying the bench, bringing Sir Anthony in different places to get big outs. The bullpen has actually been pretty good for them. You can talk about Sean Newcomb, who's kind of just a different look there. Grant Taylor's been great. They have guys there. So when they have chances to win, they're really, really going for it. And then it's obviously that's what you're supposed to do. But if you look around the league, early on in the year, a lot of teams are just on schedules with guys, especially in the bullpen. I don't think Will Venable's been managing like that. And surely the White Sox, they're enjoying winning baseball. They haven't felt this in a while, Chris. And once you start to feel it, you don't want to let that go. So I appreciate what they're doing, and I do think right now, with how they're playing, they are the more interesting watch between those two teams.
Yeah, to me, it's not even a question because we both expected the Cubs to be good. I had them winning the division. I think you had them being runner-up to Milwaukee in the NL Central, and they've been right there all year. I mean, it's really one of the best teams in baseball throughout, even though they've dealt with some injuries as well, certainly to the top part of their rotation. The White Sox, I cannot believe it, man. If you had told me that they'd have this many wins at the All-Star break, I would have been like, yeah. Like, we thought they were going to be a better watch, certainly offensively. I mean, Colson Montgomery, since he came up last July, has just been phenomenal. And we've talked about it before, and I had a chance to interview him for Dugout Discussions. I couldn't help but sit here and think this is the next Corey Seager. Just the way he looks, the way he swings, the way he plays, but he's a better athlete than Seager. So we felt like, and we were curious about Murakami. He's been absolutely unbelievable. So we thought that the team was going to be more fun. The pitching has shocked the shit out of me. It just has, and I can't figure it out. Davis Martin is a guy that was drafted by the White Sox a bunch of years ago, had to deal with the COVID season, then eventually Tommy John when he started to get close to being in the big leagues. Then he was just kind of a guy. And this year, the only two guys who have a better ERA are Shohei and Schlittler. That's it. That's it. And then he's next. He's going to have to completely fall on his face to not appear in Philadelphia in the Midsummer Classic. Burke has been good. Anthony Kay has been serviceable. Noah Schultz looks like a beast in the making. Eric Fetty is a guy that has produced on the South Side before. So they made it fun. And I don't know how long this can last. Like, it'll be the story of all stories if they're in this thing in September somehow. But man, it's been a crazy. You're not believing it, are you?
No, so here's what I'll say. They're in the right division for this.
Absolutely, they are.
Yeah. And
but you can say that about the AL West too.
Of course you can. That's why I said the Mariners can afford to have Cal out for a month and just let him heal. Like they understand the position that they're in. And we used to talk about the AL Central. Well, you get to play the White Sox 13 times a year, whatever it is, 16 times a year. Well, not anymore. You don't say that anymore, Chris.
No, you don't. I'll be curious to see how long they can pull it off. It just feels like at some point that the pitching won't be able to sustain itself, but who knows? Maybe it will. It's funny. When I was hanging out with these guys in Anaheim, I had a nice chat with Will Venable, who's just a true gentleman and super smart and everything. And he told me, he said, we were sitting there a couple of weeks ago when the coaches, we were kind of looking at each other. We knew we would be better, but we started looking at each other like, okay, now we think we got something. So I think they maybe even surprised themselves a little bit here. Right. So it's cool. Good story. Southside fans, how excited are you for this weekend? Here's the one thing I don't want to see happen that I'm afraid will. Those Northside fans are going to come into town and take over the castle. They're going to storm the Don't let that happen, Southsiders.
No, I don't think that happens, dude. If I know Southside fans, like when the team is hot, doing well, number one, they show up. Number two, they don't want the Cubs fans overtaking. That's just not going to happen. I actually don't see that happening whatsoever. I
hope not. I want you to defend your place. Defend the crib. And it took a lot for me to put on a rival AL Central hat today, but I've enjoyed the story.
I also think about like Northside versus Southside fans, like in a dust up. I'm not betting on Northside. I'll tell you that much.
No. Southside, they don't fight fair.
In fact, I said this many times, but the White Sox were a good team when I played, and they were some of the harshest fans in all of baseball, if not the harshest fans in all of baseball. So they got that going for them.
Yeah, we could go ask Tom Gamboa. No, you don't remember the Royals' first base coach?
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know his name. Yeah,
by the father-son tandem that jumped out of the crowd. You remember that?
Holy, I don't condone that whatsoever. But whoa, that was crazy.
Yeah, well, of course we don't condone it.
My reaction was like, yeah, man.
We are all in favor of our first and third base coaches remaining safe while playing on the South Side or elsewhere, wherever you are. There you go. So today's episode, by the way, of baseball today. It's sponsored by T-Mobile. Whether you're on the go or at the ballpark, T-Mobile is built to keep you connected wherever the game takes you. With America's best network, you know your phone is going to work, even in a crowded stadium. Now, anybody who's been to a big-time game, you know the feeling. Team hits a walk-off. Everybody's trying to text or post or send videos at exactly the same time, and suddenly your phone will not load. Or when you're trying to stream the game while you're traveling and the feed keeps buffering at the worst possible moment. Those are the moments that matter to real baseball fans, and a drop signal shouldn't be the reason that you miss any of them. T-Mobile's network is built specifically to handle all of it. Talking about packed stadiums, big moments, no problem. Find out how baseball hits different with T-Mobile at T-Mobile.com/MLB. The fastest based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data of national speed score results for 2H 2025. Best based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data 2H 2025. All right. You mentioned the Cardinals a moment ago being a shocker over there in the National League. Well, they got the I-70 series tonight as they take on the slumping Kansas City Royals. And the Cards, they returned from a West Coast swing that was really pretty good. It included some late-inning drama.
Walker shoots one toward right, curling toward the line. That's down. That's going to score JJ. Cardinals have taken the lead. Walker with a double.
Today summed up our team, man. We're never out of it. I feel like we're always fighting, and I just love to see another dub like that for sure.
Yeah, the amazing season continues for Jordan Walker. Plouffe, has he officially made it? There's no more concerns about him?
Well, I think the adjustments that he's made are real and they're tangible. Like, we look at his stance in the box and kind of what he's done there. When we first saw Jordan Walker, he was more like open and narrow and kind of just looked different in the box. He's completely closed himself off this year. He's really aligned his feet in the box. And I think that'll do a few things for you. It'll keep your front shoulder in there. I think it allows you to drive the ball the opposite way a little bit better. As long as you're getting clearance from those hips, I think it makes swing decisions a lot better, and that's what we've seen from him this year. He's been way more aggressive in the zone. He's upped his fly ball rate. So all like the things that you want to see from a power hitter, a guy of his size, he's been doing. So yeah, I do think it's for real. And, his age will suggest that as well. He's a young player. He's, finally feeling comfortable. He's found something that works for him. As long as he's able to stay consistent with his work and be diligent with his routine. Like I said, some of this stuff, like he's always been able to swing the bat hard. He's always hit the ball hard. Now it's just doing it more consistently. And how do you do that? Well, it's, look, your stance matters. Like how you approach the ball matters, because that's gonna set your eyes up and your mechanics right, and then your decisions get better, and you start to put the ball in the air a little bit more. And as a big boy, like that's gonna lead to good outcomes. So I'm in on Jordan Walker. I think that we're seeing a guy who again has kind of developed right in our face at the big league level. We've kind of seen him have initial success, some struggles, all these things go on, but he's found the right mixture here, and I do think it's real, Chris.
I am hoping that it is, and here's some reasons why I think yes. Because he got off to a super fast start this year, and then he hit about a 2-week stretch over 11 games where he slashed 190, 306, 238, and struck out almost 40% of the time. And I guarantee you there were a lot of Cardinals fans who were like, here we go again. And guess what? He busted out of it. That is the sign of maturity, right? You all go through 2, 3-week, 4-week stretches during a season where it looks like you've never hit a baseball. And it's the guys that can get out of it quickly and put it in the rearview mirror that are the ones that are extremely successful at this level. Certainly that's the way that I've seen it over the time I've covered it. And for him to have kind of waded through that and instead of say, here we go again, to bust through, that's awesome. His numbers are astounding this year, right? He's already got 12 homers, which, oh, by the way, is more than the homers he had combined the previous 2 seasons. He's already a 2.5 WAR player. And, oh, by the way, even when you factor that into his career stats, he's still a negative WAR player. That shows you how much he did struggle. And I think, Plouffe, the biggest thing here is that there finally feels like there's a plan for him. And I feel like he has the backing of Chaim Bloom and this entire organization. He did not have a good spring training. And there were some fans that were like, ship his ass down. We can't sit around and wait for him. Instead, the team was like, this might be a tough year for us. We don't think so, but it might. We're going to ride with him, and we're going to see once and for all whether or not Jordan Walker can play. Bro, he can play. I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, again, like there are just it's the tools have always been there. It's the adjustment period and what adjustments you're going to make. And for a guy like his size, it's easy to say, yeah, just hit the ball in the air a little bit more, but it's not as easy as doing that. Like he has actually increased like his bat path, like his angle at contact is higher this year than it has been, which is going to put more balls in the air. But you can say that and you're like, okay, well, a lot of those guys that try to do that end up striking out a lot. He's brought that down this year by, I think, being more aggressive early in counts. And we'll see how the league adjusts to him. So I guess I say yes, he's for real, with the caveat of I want to see what the next adjustment is on Jordan Walker. Are they going to make him take his walks at some point and start just really trying to get him to chase? Because he still can do that a little bit, just like any power hitter will. But if they start really making him get the ball in the zone and making him walk 3 times a game, does that change? Does he now start to get even more aggressive and start swinging out of the zone? Those are the adjustments we'll see if they can make to him. But as of right now, he's doing all the right things to have this not just be a flash in the pan. This looks like prolonged success with the adjustments he's made.
I mean, they've got 4 guys that are really dependable in their order, in my opinion, right? Walker, Herrera, Burleson, whom I love, and Weatherholt, who has just been a stud in his first 6 weeks as a big leaguer. Like, this is beginning of the year. I thought 90 losses were a cinch. They've been a fun watch, man. And think about how close they were to having an amazing West Coast swing through San Diego and Sacramento, right? They were one really good Nick Castellanos at bat away from being 5-2 on that trip. So, as it was, they'll take a winning record, and good for them, man. Good for them. They're rocking and rolling, and we just mentioned it. The 2 biggest surprise teams, White Sox and Cardinals. I'd love to hear from both those fan bases about how surprising and how much fun it has been. Because even if you're the most diehard and ardent Cardinal fan, you still probably went in this year after trading what you did in the offseason and not really adding it. You went, okay, it'll be a tough year for us. But
I think they were happy with, like, hey, this wasn't working. Like, let's try something new. And, but with the caveat of saying, like, yeah, we're happy that something different is going on. But I don't think the expectations were there with that.
Be real with us.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments section. Please fire away. All right, it's time to preview tonight's games by Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV. Got a pair of them. I guess I'm going to have to break my trend that I've been on because the Mets are hosting the Yankees in the Subway Series in one of those games. And I suppose we'll focus on Juan Soto. The good news is it looks like he's going to play because, he banged a ball off his foot or whatever the other day, and we were like, oh, God, how long is he going to be out of lineup? He ends up hitting a homer the next day, so that was good. Plouffe, I know this series is not in the Boogie Down. It's at Citi Field instead. How much of a Juan Soto versus the Yankees storyline is there these days?
I think there's a ton of it still. Like, I don't know. Like, and it's okay to have that storyline. This is one of the best players in baseball. You got to see Aaron Judge and Juan Soto hit back-to-back in a magical year for the Yankees, and he ends up, going for not the crosstown rival. I don't know if you call it that. I don't think anybody calls it that. But the crosstown team, I think there's plenty of drama here, and this is the beauty of sports. Like, if you're a Yankee fan, it's okay to have a few different feelings because for a while it was we hate Juan Soto, and then during the WBC, do you remember what Joe started for Yankee fans? He was like, I miss Juan Soto. And then everyone's like, dude, I miss Juan Soto too. So I know there's a lot of mixed emotions with Juan Soto and Yankee fans. And that's okay. That's sports. That's life, people.
Oh, if you poll any Yankee fan and say, if you could have gotten him for $45 million a year, would you have taken
He ain't
one?
making $45 million a year, Chris.
So where would they have drawn the line?
I don't know, dude, but he's making 70.
Yeah, I know. Wouldn't have Freed if you had Soto, is what Dan Rourke is saying. So,
Oh my God. I wish you guys could hear Dan Rourke in our ear right
he's
now.
saying, and his production has been replaced by Ben Rice, so we're good.
Yeah, but that's okay. You could have had him too.
Yeah. You wouldn't have Freed, who, by the way, we're still waiting on
There's no salary cap.
elbow
Why not?
diagnosis. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious, Yankee fans. Be honest with us. Let's try. Dan wears these I don't even know what Bronx-colored glasses are, but that's what I'll say. Yeah, how much do you miss him? I'm curious.
You don't miss his 8 WAR he put up for you in 2024. You miss him.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. It does come at the expense of something.
He's like the real life Jack Parkman from Major League, when it's like, when he's doing his shimmy with the White Sox, how much do you hate him? When he's doing the shimmy with the or the Indians at that point, how much do you love it? That's Juan Soto and the shuffle.
They miss him. They're not going to admit it.
Yeah, they do.
They're going to, of course. And that's perfectly fine to say it. We wouldn't have Bellinger. You wouldn't have Freed. Probably wouldn't have a few other players as well.
But why?
Well, I don't think they would have gotten Bellinger, right?
I understand. I'm playing devil's advocate here. There's no salary cap in baseball.
I know, but I still don't think they would have gone and gotten Bellinger.
I agree. Agreed.
Okay, good.
I'm just messing around.
I know you are. All right, the other part of the Friday night game is the Tigers and the Blue Jays, and the Mets just got their first 3-game sweep. It came at the expense of the Tigers, who continue to struggle. They are now sharing the basement of the American League Central. Here is A.J. Hinch after his team lost a third straight multi-run lead.
I know there's this emotional roller coaster that we're on, and there can be a lot of built-up frustration, and there should be. We've obviously missed out on some opportunities, even having the lead in these 3 games. We're going to keep playing. We're getting beat on a little bit right now, and we're wearing it, and it's no fun. Obviously, we've had some really rough series, and haven't quite clicked on all cylinders. We're not healthy, and we have a game tomorrow. So, the schedule's relentless when you're down, but you got to respond and keep playing.
All right, outside of the Skubal injury, how concerned are you about this team?
Well, the Skubal injury looms large, Chris. I mean, if you kind of look at what they're trotting out there in the rotation right now, no offense to these guys, but it's not great. It hasn't performed well. Overall, offensively, you can look, hey, Riley Green's having a really nice year, but he really hasn't hit for a ton of power. I think that's kind of consistent with their team overall. Not stealing bases and not hitting homers, that means it's hard to it becomes hard to have a consistent offense and score if you're not doing that. So we've seen some guys like Colt Keith. Again, he's having a nice year batting average wise, I believe. I don't think he's hit a homer yet.
0.
Yeah, 0. Even Kevin McGonigal, we love this guy so much. He's going to be fine. Last 11 games, 195, 327, 220. So, I just think right now they got to score a ton to win. And if you're not hitting homers or stealing bases, then you got to have 6-7 guys going at once on offense, because that rotation is really not going to help you out. I am concerned about these Tigers, and and they're going to hate me for saying this, but the one thing we said is there's no way they're trading Skubal. There's no way, because they're going to be there in the AL Central. They're going to be there. What if they're not?
Well, okay, so what if they're not is kind of the way
a long way away, and no one's running away with it. I understand that.
Right. So here's the hard part of the discussion. How does Scott Harris, does he say just F it, regardless of where we are, we're going all in. We don't know if we'll be able to extend Skubal, most likely not, but we owe it to everybody to just go for it this year, because they do have tradable pieces. It's not just Skubal. Casey Mize could go. Kenley Jansen could go. Jack Flaherty could go. Gleyber Torres. All those guys could go at some point. And so they have to sit. It's hard to sit there and say, do we have enough to get past the Yankees and whomever you think is the next best team in the American League? I think it's the Seattle Mariners. I still think that Toronto is going to get their crap together at some point. But yeah, there's a bunch of teams like whomever comes out of the West, whether you do think it's the A's or if you think the Astros can get back in it, or if you think that it's the Rangers, or you think it's definitely the Mariners. Sorry, Swilly and the Angels, not counting you in. But can you sit here and say we have the ability to win 3 series to get to the World Series?
Looking at this roster right now, I do not. I don't think so.
So what
they are banged up. 3 of their regulars, and Gleyber and Javi and Kerry Carpenter are on the IL. So there's that aspect of it. We know the pitching, starting pitching has been hurt by injuries. Will Vest now on the IL as well. Like so, there's that playing as well. But I've always felt, Chris, and tell me if I'm wrong here. I don't know. I've always felt like this team needed to be perfect to be like a true contender. That's it's tough to walk that line here.
Well, I don't think they have to be perfect. And as much as I think Fromber can be a knucklehead at times, he is pretty good. And so you say that even in a short series, I'll line up with those 2 at the top. And
right now you have no idea what you're going to get out of Fromber. You can get a complete game shutout, no problem. But you also might give up 10 runs, and he might start throwing at people. Like he's a wild card. Tell me you're going to rely on Fromber right now. I'm not buying that. You know how much I like that guy.
Then why'd you sign him?
You know how much I like that guy. They didn't know it was going to carry over into this year as well. Like
but they didn't know it wasn't. I mean, come on. We had an idea that he was kind of all over the place.
Thank God for Cater Montero, my guy.
They're stuck, man.
It's a weird spot to be in for a Tigers fan because who you really going to go over and get rid of some of the farm system to supplement this roster? Like that seems far-fetched to me. It does, especially where we're at right now. And the other way also seems far-fetched to me. You're just going to trade everyone away?
Okay, so
they're kind of stuck. I feel like they're stuck with what they got right now, and it's just they're hurt, but it's also not working.
So do you just say, well, when we get to the playoffs, it's a game of chance anyway, and short series, and if we can go on a hot run like we have the last couple of years? I mean, let's remember, it did take the Mariners, 15 innings to knock them out in a decisive game, and I thought the Mariners roster was significantly better than the Tigers, but still, Tigers were that close to appearing in the ALCS.
Maybe this all boils down to this. We need to see this team completely healthy.
There is no such thing. Can we stop with that?
There is. Of course there is.
Not everybody gets healthy at the same time. Very rarely.
How long is it going to be for Scoobs?
Let's
How
play
long is
this
it going to
game.
be for him anyway? It's a couple months, right?
Let's play this game.
Okay.
How do you think Scott Harris will handle it? We've laid out the scenarios. They could do nothing. They could trade a bunch of guys, or they could try to add to this roster, which we think is a little faulty.
From his comments throughout the offseason, I think they stay the course with the guys they have. They get healthy, they get the roster that he's put together, and they go. I don't see them significantly adding maybe a bench piece, maybe a bullpen piece. I don't think they're going to go out there and get a starting pitcher. I don't think they're going to get some impact bat. That's just not the way they've really, obviously they brought in Fromber this year. They needed that, but I don't see them doing that at the deadline. So from his comments, we're going to get better from the guys within our organization. And those are things that he said during the offseason. I think that's what they do. They wait to get healthy and they run it with these guys. I don't see him tearing it down. I still don't see them trading Skubal, but that's more of a possibility now than it was at the beginning of the year.
Scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being he's out the door, traded. I would still put it at like a
2 or 3. Yeah,
3.
it's still very, very low. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
if
it gets bad here, every series they lose, that number goes up.
Not significantly, in my opinion. It just doesn't. I don't think that God, if they fell out 10 games by the All-Star break, then I would say it's different. But I say as long as they're kind of where they are, they're gonna go for it. And by the way, to me, that's the most boring thing that they could do. I want to see them do one thing or the other.
They're 4.5 games out. It's May 15th. Being 10 games out with what they're running out there right now isn't far-fetched at all.
Yes, it is. In that division,
I don't think so.
I think so.
I think we could see them be 10.
Tell me one team that could really go right now.
Guardians just swept, didn't they? And
The
you
Angels.
hate it. I hate it.
The Angels. They also just lost 2 or 3 to your Twins.
They never lose to the Angels at home either.
No, they don't. If
They
we
never-
played the Angels,
I think they're 30-4 since like 2015 or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is an insane number.
I get what you're saying. It's the AL Central. Nobody's running away with it. I don't want it to happen. I want the Tigers to be. I'm just saying they're 4.5 games out right now. You tell me they can't go with what they're doing right now. They could go on a losing streak.
All right. This is a big series for both these teams. I know it's only the middle of May, but these are teams that need to – they're both massively banged up. Let's stop bringing that up, teams, and just go for it. Just go play. See how that goes. Once again, tonight, Friday night games, Apple TV, Jays at the Tigers, 6:45 Eastern, Yankees at the Mets, 7:15 Eastern. Watch on Apple devices, Android devices, smart TVs, streaming devices, gaming consoles, or visit the web, tv.apple.com.
Still bother you that Soto picked the Mets over the Yankees, or are you over it?
I think it still bothers him.
What does that mean?
That's just Dan Rourke going rogue on us, dropping in little liners. I like that. Way to go, Danny. I wish you'd do that more on this show.
He ain't lying. I mean, would you rather be on an 18-25 team or a 27-17 team?
Yeah. Look, man, I'd rather be cashing his checks every 2 weeks.
What is he making a year? Is it 70? That's what's in my head.
Would you be willing to go 0-162 to make $20 million a year as a player?
I mean, Chris, I basically did that. So yes, I mean,
Well, you didn't make $20 million a year.
Exactly. Would I is the question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Yes.
What is the cutoff?
Although I don't know, that hurts, man. I still hurt. I think about it every day that I never played in the playoffs. It hurts me.
I know. I wonder what the number is. And we understand that everybody that's listening to this is like, God, what an a-hole you are for even bringing up that number. But we have to understand this is the world that we cover. So baseball players make a very healthy living, and they deserve it, and they've earned it, and that's awesome for them. I wonder what the number is for a baseball player where they would suffer through 0-162.
It depends who you ask, Chris. Depends who you ask. But
yeah. So let's say a guy like you who had a really good career, but you weren't a star. What? What are you?
Okay, well, I appreciate you saying really good career. I don't credit myself with a really good career, and I definitely was not a star.
Okay.
Solid big leaguer. What would my number have been to go 0-62? I don't know.
0-162.
I'm the most honest big league there is. Look, you can say you're there to win championships and do all these things. Yeah, of course, dude. Yeah, you want to win games. My number one goal was to have my family financially secure.
Of course.
By far my number one goal.
Maybe I should ask the players when I go to the field. How much money would...
They won't say it. See, you can't ask a current player that because they'll get blown up if they say it. Yeah, no.
Okay. It'd be fun. So that's why I'm asking a former player.
Yeah, only has-beens like me, yeah. You're right. I'm looking at Juan Soto's contract. The number I keep getting mixed up, it's 15 years for 7 whatever it is, but it can get to 800 with certain amounts of like incentives and whatnot. So yes, he will be making like $55 million a year in short order. 51 this year. My gosh.
Do you think that he would take the contract if he would be guaranteed never to win another game, but he would have to go through the entire existence of being...
Dude, this is crazy. Listen to this.
Didn't even listen to me.
I didn't because I just saw this. I forgot what. It's not even incentive based. I thought it was.
What is it?
So Soto may. Okay. Soto has an opt-out clause after the 2029 World Series.
Okay.
So they can let him decide that. Or the Mets can say, you don't get that opt-out decision. But the way they do that is by his salary increasing from 51 to 55 for the remainder of his contract. So basically they can add another $40 million onto his deal that gets it up there if they don't want to even allow him to opt out of it.
Got it. Okay. Now, would you listen to my question, even though it's ridiculous? It was, do you think that he would accept the terms of his contract financially, but he would have to play it all the way through? Here's the one caveat. The Mets will never win another game while he plays. So he's guaranteed to just go 0 for... He couldn't do it?
No, because he's already made so much money that I don't think that...
So he would tap out.
Yeah, he'd be like, dude, like, I don't know. Like, I'd rather earn, like, slightly less and win some games.
God,
like, that's the difference. That's what I keep saying. Like, dude, like, guys that have made a bunch of money, yeah, they could be, I want to win a World Series no matter what. And I'm like, most people just want to make some money for their family.
Stop. All right, how about somebody who's made $0? They get to the show, and somehow they've been given a $500 million deal over 12 years, but you never will win a game.
I think they take it.
How miserable would you be?
Yeah, I'm going to bet on myself. I don't know, man. No, you take that.
Yeah, you got to take the money. I don't know where.
And then you just swing for the fences every at bat and try to make it to the Hall of Fame with 500 homers.
All right. Dodgers. Okay, they won the last 2 of a 4-game set against the San Francisco Giants. 5-2 was the final on Thursday night. There was still a little buzz about what happened Wednesday with Willy Adames on base. Ball by Gilbert gets hit to the outfield, and Willy Adames forgets how many outs there are. He thought there were 2. There was 1. He gets doubled off. There were a lot of people that said rookie skipper Tony Vitello should have benched Adames. No, he didn't. He was in the starting lineup. They did have a talk. Adames apparently apologized to the team, spoke during the hitters' meeting, the whole bit. Do you have a problem with rookie manager not benching Adames?
I do. I think this is where you make a statement. I think Adames would understand this. Like, he's a veteran guy. I get it, and very well liked. I love me some Willy Adames, but this is a guy who actually I think you should do this to. Number one, optics aren't great. Joking around with Mookie Betts, then gets doubled off. In a rivalry game. This is against the Dodgers. I know they all count, but come on. I would have taken him out right there. You got to send a message. These middling Giants, dude. Like, something has to change. He's not getting fired anytime soon, but you got to spark it somehow. You got to like wake people up at some point. I think he should have taken him out right then and there. He should have sat him for another game. Behind closed doors, say, Willie, look, man, yeah, I'm making an example out of you. I am. I think the team needs it. I know you can handle it. And you messed up, man. You can't be doing that. It's, so like, I think there's ways to do it. And if you want to send a message to the team, you take him out right there and you sit him in the next game. I think Vitello should have done that.
I don't. I just don't know what. You tell me, are the other guys looking at Tony Vitello differently today because he didn't?
Yeah. I mean, look, he's young and he has no professional baseball managing or coaching experience whatsoever. Like, this is a time where you make a stand, say, guys, like, this is the big leagues. Great. I don't have any time, but I make the decisions here. And there's a certain way I want baseball to be played. That ain't it. And again, I love Willy Adames, man, and he can handle it.
Chris Sale forgot how many outs there were last night.
Okay, and where are the Braves at in the standings?
I get it. I'm just saying that it does.
It makes a big difference, dude. This team has basically sucked.
Oh yeah, it's been horrible.
4 years.
I don't know. I mean, listen.
And Chris Sale's a fucking fucking Hall of Famer, dude. And you know what? Chris Sale, if he did something like that, would probably expect, like, hey, yeah, take me out. He'd want it, man.
Well, do you think
I
Larry
think this was the
Walker?
perfect, and I know our social team's going to clip this and whatever. This is the perfect moment for Tony Vitello to put his foot down. The perfect moment, and he didn't do it.
I don't know.
It was on a tee for him, Chris.
I get it. Guys forget how many outs there are. It happens every few weeks.
I've done it. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying you need to take a stand as a manager sometimes and light a fire under your players so you're not sitting at, I don't know what their record is. It's under 500. I know that for sure.
Oh, yeah, well
But
under 500.
this is a middling franchise who's made moves that have not worked out. They are looking at the Dodgers, who are just running away with the baseball world right now, and they're not doing anything. This just, to me, was an opportunity to be like, all right, guys, like, this is how we play ball. And it's not that.
Were you benched?
God, probably. It was, I mean, it was an Angel Stadium, Kevin Slowey on the mound. I was playing second base, came across the bag with 1 out, got the force out, forgot to turn it. I could almost guarantee I didn't play the next game. If I had, I mean, I have to look it up.
I don't think Francisco Lindor was benched this year. I'm pretty
Should
sure
have been.
Larry.
You think Mendoza's running a tight ship there?
I'm pretty sure that Larry Walker was not benched the time that he gave the ball to a fan when he thought that there were 3 outs.
All different situations. You have to look at all of them completely differently. You do.
Yes, you do.
This one, to me, again, I'll say it, was on a freaking tee for Tony Vitello.
Okay.
You were just down there. You just had a conversation with him.
I had a long conversation. I wish it had happened the day before. Unfortunately, our conversation happened the day that it happened. So it was Wednesday afternoon we talked. Adames forgot how many outs there were Wednesday night. And by the way, so that's coming out next Monday.
Do you think, like, yeah, sorry, plug it. My bad.
21 minutes he sat with us.
Wow.
21 minutes. We could have kept going. He's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, you got places to go, I think. So he was fascinating. That's all I can tell you. I've never conducted an interview with a coach or a manager like that before. I'm trying to get in on him. You know that.
I just think this was a time where he could have done it. Number one, 2 things real quick. Number one, Matt Chapman texted me, said he talked to you, said you guys were rapping about me, so thank you very much. That makes me feel very good.
Absolutely. Some of it was even
good.
good.
I forgot the second part. I have no idea. So
I can tell you this. Those guys like him a lot.
Yeah.
That's
what I was going to say. Clearly, he wants to be a player's manager. Clearly.
Yes.
Like, that's his thing, is he wants to be, we're all in this together. Like, we're boys. Let's do this. You can do both, man. You can be a player's guy and still put your foot down. And again, Willy Adames would have been completely fine with it. And probably would have been like, hell yeah, Skip. I needed that.
Probably. But I don't think he respects him any less based on it either. I think that Adames felt terribly about it. He said it was the most embarrassed he's ever been. And he knows he's got to be better. Like, I don't know. Here's a good picture for you.
Is that you and Maddie?
Yeah.
Gosh, love that guy.
Isn't that a nice photo?
I truly, truly think the world of Matt Chapman.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's got to hit a little bit better. That's it. Let us know. Giants
great body on that guy. No, not many people know that.
I was like, my God, are you in shape?
Yeah.
Gave him a big hug. I was like, I think I'm winning the hug fest out of this. You're not getting as much out of it as I am. You can let us know where you sit on the whole Willy Adames. I think a lot of fans, it would have been easy for them to say, bench him, bench him, bench him. You and I disagree. I respect your opinion because you played it. You lived it. You've earned it. There you go. All right, today's episode sponsored by Shady Rays. Shady Rays, built for real sports fans. No more squinting through the sun to track a fly ball when you already have sunglasses on. Shady Rays polarized lenses lets you track a fly ball, read the scoreboard, see that the ump blew the last out, call at the plate. They're lightweight frames. They won't slip whether you're at the ballpark, the golf course, watching the game outside on the patio. And here is the very best part. With Shady Rays lost and broken protection, if you lose or break them, even right after you get them, Shady Rays replaces them. We're talking no drama, no stress, no replacement guilt. Just a new pair headed your way. From the first pitch to the final out, don't let the sun mess with your game. And we've teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Head on over to shadyrays.com. Use the code BASEBALL50 for 50% off 2 or more polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Enjoy your Shady Rays. All right, first rivalry weekend. We've already talked a little bit about the Cubs and the White Sox. We've talked about the Mets and the Yankees. I guess Tigers, Jays fits into that category. Not every team has a rivalry weekend, but there's a bunch out there. Which ones of the ones we have not talked about are you most interested in this weekend?
I think there's a really special series going on, and it's going to be between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Pittsburgh Pirates. A couple things here I wanted to talk about. I want to make sure I'm getting it right. It's in Pittsburgh, right?
Well, let's
Yes,
start.
it's in Pittsburgh. Okay. So right now, the records of these teams, Phillies 21-23 on their way up. It's still 2 games under 500. The Pittsburgh Pirates 24-20. Do you know what a 3-game sweep on the Phillies' favor does?
Uh-oh.
Gets them to a tied record with the Pirates right there. It's going to be tough to do that because Paul Skeens is pitching on Sunday. Here's the thing. Who do the Phillies got?
Zach Wheeler.
Zach Wheeler.
Yeah,
dude. Like, this is going to be a really, really fun series. I think it's, every once in a while you get like a litmus test type series for teams. I think this is one for the Pirates. Phillies, look, they've been there, done that. They're a very good team on their way up. As we mentioned, the starting pitching has been better for them. Kyle Schwarber's just going absolutely nuts. So like their record at 21-23 is fine. The Pirates, a little surprising with what they're doing. Maybe not so surprising, but again, if they want to be a premier team in the National League, which they think they can be, go beat one. You got them at home. You got your guy on day 3. Go sneak out a win in one of these first games and try to win the series from the Phillies. I think it's a really fascinating.
By the way, that Skeens Wheeler game should be Peacock's Sunday nighter. Just, it's a no-brainer. It's not that hard to move baseball games. It really is.
Skeens versus Harper, Skeens versus Schwarber. Like, yeah.
And when was the last time there was a primetime meaningful game in Pittsburgh?
Trey Turner versus Connor Griffin. Oh,
they should have seen this possibly line up and said, screw it, we're pulling it off the Mariners, Padres, and we're going. It's not that hard to change those guys' flights.
We got to call, Chris.
I don't know. I mean, for God's sakes, they can change out Sunday Night Football in 12 days, and we're talking about it takes a lot to move an NFL game. Baseball, come on.
I think I'm an NBC employee right now. Actually, I'm doing a Peacock game, so maybe I got to make some phone calls, huh?
Oh, good. You get paid a little extra sweet on that? Yeah? No? Yeah?
It's a bump.
Good.
Yeah.
That away. All right. I'm happy about that. With that being said, I will actually take the series that is going to be the Sunday night baseball game. Mariners playing host to the Padres. It's for the Vetter Cup. It's for the Vetter Cup, which was christened last season, and the Mariners took care of business, and so they got an Eddie Vedder guitar given to Cal Raleigh, which I thought was kind of cool. I thought that was neat. Here it is. So, of course, Eddie Vedder, we know that he is a huge Cubs fan, but I think when he was 8, he moved to San Diego, and, of course, Pearl Jam, Seattle. So that's why it's Seattle, San Diego as the Eddie Vedder thing. Padres fans have kind of hopped off because Vedder was cheering for the Cubs against the Padres last year.
I'm also out on the Vedder Bowl. I love Eddie, but that doesn't make a lot of sense for me there.
Well, they're still going to give it away, and all San Diego has to do in order to clinch that guitar is win one of the 3 games this weekend. Plus, I feel like even though they're not geographic rivals, I think when they first started doing this in 97, they were like, we got to do something with the Mariners. Like, they don't have anybody that's close to them. So we'll just put them with a National League team that's relatively close. Here, take the Padres. But they've always been linked because they've got 2 of the craftiest architects around. For a while, Jerry DiPoto and A.J. Preller, I thought, got paid by the transaction. Those guys were just so busy that they were trying to hit some sort of incentive clause. Plus, they seemingly have pulled off like multiple deals with one another. They had that one where Munoz went up and Ty France went down, and so those guys are still involved in the series. Josh Naylor was a one-time Padre. Brash, who unfortunately is injured, was a Padre draft pick. So there's a Connor Joe, I think, is on Seattle. Played, I think, 7 games for the Padres. I don't think he's got a statue at Petco, but I'll have to check on that. So there you go. Got a lot interesting stuff going on.
What if we do the Pacific Prize Fight? No.
What are you talking about?
Instead of the Eddie Vedder Bowl.
It's the Vedder Cup, first of all.
Cup.
It's the Vedder
Pacific
Prize
playoffs.
Fight? What do you get?
I don't know. Like a trophy of the ocean. They're both on the Pacific. That makes sense to me.
What do we take a picture of the Puget Sound?
Ooh. What? Yeah, I was trying to think of words that start with a P that are like synonyms with matchup. So that's what I came up with so far. Prize fight and playoff.
What are you most looking forward to, fans, this weekend, and why? Leave it in the comments. Before we get out of here, the Reds have been sliding. They dropped 10 of 12 heading into Thursday's game against the Washington Nationals, but they ended up winning. They dropped the hammer, and Tito gave us a reason why.
Oh, God. I'm trying to think I want to say this correctly. We had good vibes going in today. Nap broke out the Tito Speedo and kind of had a good feeling going in.
Mm-hmm. That's the Tito Speedo, the gift from Tyler Stevenson in spring training, because Tito likes to swim, so he got a picture of him from his playing days, and Napoli wore that thing. Wonder how that looked in the clubhouse.
I gotta go revisit what Napoli is working with right now. Big barrel-chested dude, probably spilling out of that thing.
I think he's in really good shape now. You know, he's a dad.
Barrel-chested is not a bad term. He's a big boy.
Yeah, he is big. Well, do you remember his 2013 running through the streets of Boston shirtless?
I think he had a shirt off a lot during his playing days. My mental picture is him spilling out of the Speedo. So do with that what you will.
What are you saying? Spill? What's
I
spilling
don't know.
out?
Like a little bit of everything. You know what? I got actually sent a pair of we did some skim stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I got sent some like actual like old school like underwear. What do you call those? Briefs or like just like underwear?
Banana hammocks.
I don't know how you guys used to do it, Chris.
What do you mean, you guys? I was like,
didn't wear that
when that stuff was in style.
You didn't wear just tighty whities? Guaranteed you did.
As a kid, no. By the time I got, into form. By the time I got into form, it was boxers.
Boxers also, like we all went through that phase as a society. Like what were you thinking there too?
They were not good. Boxers were
boxer
horrible.
Briefs are where it's at.
Yes, boxer briefs, great. Boxers
holds everything
horrible.
In there, nice.
Yeah, you're all over the place. Can't quite hold it all in. All right. You ever wear? Somebody had on the Twins had to be the Speedo guy. Every team's got one of those dudes.
Well, we had a ton. Matt Guerrier, Nick Punto.
Matt Guerrier grew up in the same town as I did, Shaker Heights, Ohio.
Yeah, we had a lot of Speedo guys. Shane Robinson for a while. We were doing this dance party after victories in 2015. We were killing it, man. We had fog machines. Trevor May was DJing. He brought in like his DJ equipment.
Yes.
We were doing it. It was awesome. You can go Google that. Dan, next episode, I want you to have a clip of that. We'll figure it out. Shane Robertson was a very seductive dancer, and I'll leave it at that.
I think I probably would have done a lot of that clown shit. If I was good enough to actually make it to the major leagues, I would have been one of those guys. I have no shame. I still take my shirt off every warehouse games. I don't know why.
You're great. You're going to the gym right after this. Me too.
That's bad, right?
People, you know what? I'm just going to say that. Our audience, let's all get like healthy together, okay?
Okay.
If you need a push, someone to say, hey, I do need to get off the couch a little bit, go do some physical activity. Let this be it.
That's right. Let's do it. And on that note, everybody have a wonderful weekend. We will be back at it again next week. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe, I am Chris Rose. We will see you Monday on Baseball Today, presented to you by T-Mobile.